Welcome back to River Gamers. It was in fact not Hifumi's glasses. Because obviously it wasn't.
It would be the glasses cleaning cloth, duh.
Got it. It was the thing you used to clean glasses.
Pause the episode, future Michael. Ow, shit! Ah, fuck! Ah, God damn it.
Put that in the episode, future Michael.
Fuck.
Okay,
and we're back.
Well, yeah, we're back. We got our drink break.
Michael just kind of hurt himself.
One look at the blood stain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth is used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, because it's the glasses cleaning cloth, and the mascot is fucking an anime character, so obviously it was him. Whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Demon Angel Star.
Demon Angel.
Star!
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not a weeb.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like that to this school.
I see a point. And the only people here who wear stupid-ass glasses are.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
I spit on mine. And there's no question, it belonged to Hifumi. So what you're saying is, what exactly? What I'm saying is the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who? Oh god. Oh, now I'm burpy because of the root beer. But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That is a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead, and when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say? But then, if he was just pretending to be dead...
Where did the blood?
What was with all that blood? Was it pain or something? The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies.
Doug,
He
you figured
probably
that out
used
too.
one of those.
I did.
Job.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere.
And pissed himself.
And pissed himself. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. Wow, that transition's hard. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It should be perfectly obvious.
It's going from that pitch
that's how she
to the
sounds.
deadpan.
The one who moved Taka's body was Taka himself? He's like, alright, and now I
They were
move.
both still alive.
And now I move to the... Okay, alright, I'm getting it now. He's like, it could only have been Hifumi.
When we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Tonka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository
Shut up,
got
bird!
locked.
Shut up, dog!
Bird?
There was a bird outside.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear it. I was too
I heard the
focused.
chirping.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And then the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced all of us he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case, he was one of the assailants.
Bum 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 bum, it's been revealed for the first time and I didn't know.
Oh my god!
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it. If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body.
Hey, so I was right.
The pants note!
The dolly! Where is it? The blueprints!
The blueprints! It would be
The
enough.
thing he stole from... Oh yeah, it would be enough.
Got it!
God! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right, we found it stuffed in his pants.
What? It is...
Don't ask.
Don't make this weird.
Don't
What?
ask.
It is... What?
Don't. Oi.
Uh.
Shut up.
Oh. What?
clip that again. Don't clip the mic, Oi.
sorry, my
We're doing
voice-
this for a show.
My voice is loud!
Click the fucking mouse.
Pants!
You're clipping it so bad, Ashley. Jesus
sorry.
It'll
Christ.
survive.
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says. I found a hole maybe we can use.
To escape.
Going back to the pants thing now, aren't we?
They're like, oh yeah, of course you find a note to escape. Oh. Well, it still sounds weirdly sexual.
Yeah.
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. Oh, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh, wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got. It's not the same one? In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could have only been me!
Hifumi's
I
pants!
think it was Hifumi's pants.
Oh my god.
Man, it's a
It
real...
could have only been me.
It could have only been...
I'm the culprit.
I'm the culprit!
Taka. That's right, Taka. The killer used this note to draw Taka and murder him.
Hello, over here. Objection, objection. I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had the letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok. They were drawing out Huffy.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka, and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Yes, why must ruin it every time?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Let's start spinning this.
You spin me. Made that joke already. Made that joke.
Are there
Whoa.
other songs about spinning?
Yeah, we're getting more.
Yeah, see?
You think that's a lot?
It is.
All right, let's see.
We've had more.
Huffy had the note, right?
I remember.
Okay. As the person it was intended for. It must have been Huffy. Nope. Nope. But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me? 6 a.m. I believe. That time doesn't matter. It has nothing to do.
With TikTok.
Look in this one. Must have been Huffy. Note what the note said. What time? 6 a.m. I believe. The time doesn't matter.
Oh, you got me.
So it's a guy.
Oh man, you got me.
Oh, you got me.
Ah, my tongue. Nah, it's gonna fucking break at some point. Break. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look at what the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
I'm good, burpee, good. So Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty more of the time meant for Taka. Oh, now I can burp and it'll be okay.
That was coolly paced. No further objections.
Did someone use that note to trick Taka? Just the same as me. God, the culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they'd found a way out.
But if they gave that note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Most likely, Hifumi ran out of tissues and needed it. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Thank you for not taking that too far.
He
You
stole
almost
it?
did.
You almost did.
Where's your proof? Go ahead and show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note. It's the repository door.
I know. It's the wristwatch again.
Definitely.
Goat it. When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, this sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Ugh, burpee.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's
You
note?
barely had any root beer.
I know.
She had a root beer shot during the break because we made her, because it's root beer gamers.
I'm tiny. Anything amount of anything will cause reaction.
So let's continue, shall we?
Yes.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip. leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew that no was important.
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Well, yeah, after seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive. You're fucking stupid. When we found the fucking bodies in the thing, he was definitely dead. We heard the announcement, dude. The second body discovery announcement proves that. Jesus Christ.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we all split up and was searching Kataka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Why is she a walrus now?
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too, but there's something that's been bothering me even more. I haven't had weed in weeks.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, cause I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 was still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of those hammers and kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking
I was
around
about
that
to say,
skull of
I
yours
think that's,
after all.
I think that's the most intelligent thing he said.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right though, I don't understand it either.
It's covered in bubble wrap.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already lying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too, and I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used, the whole picture, that somehow I have to find it. Spinning.
What could it be?
Oh, spinning.
Do you think it was the other hammer?
Do you think it's a spotless hammer?
Do you think could it have been that hammer?
I wonder which hammer it is.
Makoto, hey.
I wonder which hammer it is. What was used to kill him? Spotless hammer. Was it Justice Hammer 3? Spotless hammer. Maybe Justice Hammer 4? Spotless hammer. Well, whatever it was, spotless hammer. There's one thing we have to figure out. Spotless hammer. How the culprit was able to move so freely around with weapons. Spotless hammer. How did nobody witness them carrying around? Spotless hammer. Sounds like Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance. Spotless hammer. Check out the...
RedGear.com/hammertime for more info!
Okay, that's funny. Well, one thing's pretty clear. Spotless hammer. Had to be one of the... Nope. Found my spot. Who said that?
Just Makoto appears on screen going,
There's no way!
You're wrong! Oh,
Jesus Christ. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all! No, it was something completely different! But seriously, a different weapon? Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason one of them had been scrubbed clean.
huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Nice.
That was the line. He just burped it. And even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their designs. Or they were just fucking
If that's
painted.
true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer, the one Hifumi was working with, the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out the murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about it, at least. That's what we thought, but...
Whoa!
Make your argument! Broken wristwatch, blue tarp, spotless hammer. Don't think any of these are gonna matter.
Yeah, I'm
Nope.
pretty sure they won't.
Yeah, this seems like a perfect setup for like needing to listen. Based on the rules I've been laid out, it's more important that you go collect the murder. Only one who actually carried it out and graduate and fucking whatever. Just muttering her breath. Impossible the two to work together on this. I'm gonna highlight that because I need that.
Actually, I think impossible is the one that really broken.
That is how the rule explained to us. Is that really the way? Can there really be the fucking murder? There were 2 murders.
The possibility of
or is there some chance? Gonna fast forward to the thing. Gonna shoot the thing into the thing. Got it.
You see, look, it looks like he's actually just yelling as hard as he can.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong!
He's yelling, counter!
Yeah. Just like when he's opening presents from the fucking vending machine, he's just like, got an item! He just opens up another one calmly. Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that one or more person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there had only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together, the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that if 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with the plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, the choice of accomplice seems...
The effort made to convince us the 2 murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoka must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she decided not to look at the series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoka really is amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this. Almost like she was programmed into a video game.
Huh.
I understand. None of Makoto's monologue, but I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero 1 right now.
A true killer manipulated him and murdered him. The debate's still up. Consider all that, there's only one person that seems fit.
Who could it be?
Who is it?
Sayaka.
It's Sayaka!
She's been in on that since the beginning.
Who do you think it was?
Hey, Winnie.
Hey! Hey!
It's still my favorite joke.
What's that? Hey! Oh,
It was Leon.
Leon!
Celeste. Yeah.
No, you can't pick Monica.
I'm glad you realized exactly what I was trying to do.
Like, damn it!
Maybe if I pressed up at the right time, I can. Okay, no. It was Mondo. I mean, actually, only one person that could have been pulling history. Wow, there's so many people dead.
Yeah. Yeah, 30 seconds.
Oh, shit.
Let me put it this way. Who's been being a bitch this entire trial?
Probably her. Or Celeste. Celeste has been being a bitch.
You got it right!
It was Celeste!
Ah! So I'm the suspicious individual now? Am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke, I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear,
I'm pretty sure that was really poorly pronounced.
I know, sorry. Moi. Is that so?
It is. Throughout the
Moi.
investigation,
Moi.
there was certain behavior that was only common to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only they had in common? The screaming, encountering the suspicion. I am gonna assume it's this. Yeah.
The scream.
Shit, I hadn't even thought about Celeste. The behavior they had in common does have to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking
Shut
now.
the fuck up. I hate you.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. We accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits. We can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, a draw sat at the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah.
That's the third time.
Huh?
What was that? It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that way we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
My mind is being fucking blown
Then
right
why
now.
don't we split into two groups?
I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting.
Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it again.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we didn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah, I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me into the bathroom. Wait, then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Even though he's looking in the center of the circle and she's right to his left.
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys did. Die.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
She was referring to fucking Taka and Hifumi.
Then pay attention, suck. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Ifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, or that's not Makoto. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Yake said the Celeste comment doesn't make any sense, but what is he alluding to? Gonna spin around in a circle, gonna do the thing right now. I assume I had somebody else ask the company.
All I thought was, and I'll really be enjoying this.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. You want to be positively elated. We're all going to die. We're going to die
Those guys did.
And
And that's all I said.
That's all I said.
And it's going to finish. This is obvious, isn't it? It's so strange. Those guys! What?
I think you take the so strange and shoot something with.
Oh, yeah, because that's
okay.
contradicting what he would say.
Ah, okay. Alright. Fast forward through the thing. Gonna fast forward through the thing. Fast forward through the thing. Gotta fast forward through the thing. Gotta slow down so I can get the thing.
Oh,
Got the thing. Gonna fast forward through the thing. Gotta fast forward through the thing. Fast forward through the thing. Gotta fast forward through the thing. Fast forward through the thing. Gotta fast forward through the thing. And it was this!
Yum! Got that wrong!
Break!
Break!
That's right, there's no reason Celeste should have said just like those guys died. When she said it, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And then we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So was there ever any chance for her to have seen the body in the equipment room for herself?
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know that more than one person had been killed? How did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations, you know that?
Imaginations?
You claimed that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? Ooh, how do you explain this picture of the costume villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? Celeste put the suit on and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist? Pimple, are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away? What could you possibly mean by that? Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up. No, there are no other explanations.
Other explanations? He's just thinking to himself, like, about other shit. And he's like,
It's like, oh shit, there's a trial going on.
Oh, yeah, damn it.
I'm really
Shit, I was thinking about Hearthstone.
I'm really hungry right now.
If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi in this. Fucking dancing. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Hifumi and the suspect have been drinking.
That must be it.
I'm gonna guess it's this.
Man, those are really easy.
Yeah, right? It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
Oh, he does kind of look like he's straining to pull it.
You're seeing it now, huh?
Yeah.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened. You put me to sleep and made me out to bed. Wow, I can't.
Don't worry, we're all
That
fucking
was
up
an
this
awesome line
episode.
of dialogue.
You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all of
That's
this.
a lot of blah.
That's my usual like thing that I do after I mess up something is I read it
Just
very, very enunciated.
Directly. Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous. Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all. Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging a suspect away. But is that really possible? You spin me. Okay. Make your argument.
We're gonna make this joke for the 3rd time today.
Yep.
4th time, I think, actually.
Is it? Fuck off.
You dressed me up in that suit like after I passed out or some shit. And you dropped me across the Hifumi, had me carry my weight. You made me look like I was the bad guy. Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing up perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, they could not stand up straight
Suit
like
can't
this. For fortune telling age, culprit after all. No, way. Yeah.
No, that's not right.
Oh, no, that's not right. Oh, fuck. Had him carry my weight. Yeah, so I'll be able to... Like I said, ridiculous. Specific standing perfectly upright. Whoa!
Oh, what
Not
the
that
fuck?
one. No, it's the next one. Because he was unconscious.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A little faster there.
Like I said, ridiculous. Perfectly upright.
Yeah,
Was
perfect.
unconscious.
That one.
There we go.
Okay,
Did
that
it.
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Break. No, even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because the Robo-Justice suit has a certain characteristic.
We went over already. You totally can't bend at the waist for the 2nd time. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
For the 2nd time.
Yeah, on the 2nd floor. That's right. They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist. I'm not sure if that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specifically designed and stuffed Hero into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame. She's getting crazy.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate. Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
What could he have told us?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you?
If I may, I think we should find out who attacked him next time on Root Beer Gamers.
Next time on Root Beer Gamers, I'm gonna be a bitch.
And I'm still alive, baby, for a sec.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.